Right down the hill from our project in Essex, Massachusetts is another building story, and this one is 400 years old. The town of Essex set aside this land in 1668 to encourage shipbuilding, and it worked because over 4,000 ships were built right here. Things change, of course, and the shipbuilding industry moved on. What were 15 shipyards here have been whittled down to just one. And wooden boat building, that would be dead if it weren't for folks like Captain Harold Burnham, who is still here and very passionate about it. Hey Harold, what a great place you have here. This is hallowed ground for your family, right?
Absolutely. It was my grandmother's house growing up, and people have been building boats here for almost 400 years. When I was a kid, it was sort of my father's hobby. Everyone said I'd never make a living at it, so I wound up in the Merchant Marine, and then I wound up back building boats. And even though they were right, I'm still building boats and having fun here. It's kind of like a family farm, and we build schooners, and that's what's been going on for a long, long time.
Right.
The design for the boats always start with an idea, and the best way we've found to express a hull form is using a half model, and these are some of the models of different boats we've built or worked on or appreciated, and it's still the way we build them today. This is the nucleus of our operation here. You can see it's our mold loft and sail loft, and also where we do our rigging. And this is the working model for the Ardell, a little schooner I just built last year for my family, and that's her out there. She's a 50-foot Pinky.
She's a beauty. Now, how do you shape these half models?
It's pretty simple. You start with a block of wood and carve away everything that doesn't look like a boat, and just you know, kind of quickly and crudely cut it out.
All right, so just using a chisel.
Yeah, a chisel, and sometimes you use a hatchet or a chainsaw.
Whatever it takes,
you know.
Right. Now, I noticed that the half model is in different layers. What's that all about?
The layers are called lifts. This is a 1/2-inch scale model, and the lifts are 1/2 inch thick, so each lift represents a 1-foot section of the hull. And you can see by taking the lifts and tracing them out, you can develop basically a topographical map of the boat, and called a lines drawing. And we actually take the measurements right on the lifts, scale off the model, and then draw the boat full scale on the loft floor.
Okay, so there's no blueprint here. You're getting all the information right from this.
This is the design for the boat. And over here you can see we still have the lofting on the floor of the Ardell.
So this is a full-scale drawing board, and this looks like the center line of the ship?
That's the center line, and each one of these lines in here represents a section of the hull, and for every section we make a mold or a pattern, and this is one of the molds for the Ardell. And when it's all finished, we actually saw out the ribs out of heavy timber, so the ribs would be made about 8.5 inches thick by the thickness of this timber.
Wow. So it's kind of a timber frame boat.
Yes. Very
now
much
a house is made up of a lot of similar pieces, whereas in a boat like this, it's only left, right, that's it. Everything else is different.
Every piece is different, and there's about 250 of them.
Wow.
Let's go for a sail. Come on aboard, Norm.
Great, it looks like you got some friends to go along with. All right.
There we go. You guys want to bring in that foresheet a little bit? You can probably ease the jib a little.
So this is a pretty good sized boat. How many to crew it?
I usually sail this boat with myself and a kid or an apprentice.
Wow. So it's pretty easy to sail.
Yeah, they were used for fishing and, you know, fish over the rail. And in 1832, there were 64 of them out of Gloucester. And that was also the year that New England had the record catch of mackerel of 450,000 barrels all landed one at a time off a hook and line.
Is that right? Well, you're not fishing anymore with this boat and filling the hold with fish, so...
Oh yeah, well, we catch a different kind of fish. We call them the passenger fish. And tend to be a lot more fun. They tend to smell better, and what we do is take people out sailing and sort of celebrate our New England heritage and sailing. We basically have as much fun as we can possibly have.
Sure. And there's no better way to do it than in a boat like this.
Yeah.
So thanks for the tour.
Well, we're happy to take you along.